While everyone else is looking at the really cool new EX archetypes from Journey Together, today I thought we're going to take a look at something different. We're going to be looking at the brand new Lycanroc with the Spiky Energy, which is a really cool, fun single prize deck that has a lot of power to it now. Because of the standard format rotation, I think the game has slowed down a lot, and it allows you to use Lycanroc's ability to accelerate those spiky energies, then have your opponents hit into you, and they take damage, and then you use its attack, which will then deal a bunch of damage with all the damage counters on them. I've really been enjoying this list, and it's going to be up on screen right now. Basically, we have the 4/4 line of the Lycanroc, and we use Dunsparce as our draw engine. The real MVP of this deck, though, is the Maractus, because it has that exploding needles ability. So when you get hit, your opponent takes 6 damage counters, and then you can clean up with Lycanroc later. And its corner attack is really strong in the early game, or to buy you a turn to retreat lock your opponent, because so many decks are using Latias right now. Bloodmoon is great to clean up in the late game, and I've opted to include Hero's Cape to not only give our Lycanroc a little bit of bulk, but also to use Bloodmoon Ursaluna more effectively in the end game, because we can consistently reset it with a Jet Energy. This is a really, really cool list. I've really been loving it. So without further ado, we're gonna hop right into the games, get some dubs with the brand new Lycanroc. Tails never fails, you already know the drill. We are flipping that coin. It's gonna be tails. We're gonna choose to go not first but second here, and then we're gonna just see what happens. We really want to hit this Budew or the corner to start. The Maractus is a pseudo Budew, kind of, because it lets us utilize the disruptive nature of its like basic low energy attack cost to stall our opponent out, and then if they just decide to hit the Maractus and knock it out, that really plays to our advantage, and that's what we're really going for here. We got no basics. They're gonna have to go ahead and set themselves up, so we are just gonna see what they're playing, and they're gonna get to see what we're playing actually, and we'll just see what happens from there. Now, this is a pretty solid hand. Starting the Hero's Cape is not ideal, but it's okay. I do want to start the Maractus here just in case Budew is prized or we're unable to find an energy to retreat this Dunsparce. And this is a really solid position to be in to start things off, because we can corner this Fan Rotom if they don't retreat it into something like a Hoot, because the Hoot can retreat after, which is a little bit of a pain. And there's the Steel Mask Ogerpon. They definitely should have Fan called first, unless their hand is really bad and they just need more basics. But yeah, that looks about correct. They got a really good start this way, and yeah, it might be good if we can just corner this Fan Rotom. If they end up knocking us out, they'll knock themselves out. They oddly chose to not bench a Hoot, but this is going to be interesting. So let's get double Rockruff. We have double Dunsparce. Check our energy counts really quick. Not being able to throw the cape on the Ursaluna is going to be a little bit of a pain, but our hand is not good otherwise, and we only have 3 spiky energy. Okay. Our hand is not good otherwise, so we're really going to need to try hard here. But what we can do is throw it on the Dunsparce. And by throwing it on the Dunsparce, we can actually shuffle it back into the list, which is something else I so dearly love about this deck. Now, we're going to go ahead. We'll get another... Do I want another Rockruff down? I don't want to put this Artazon in play. Let's play the Poffin. Let's get another Dunsparce. We have all 3 in the deck, and we'll Spiky Energy swing with the corner. If they decide to hit into us, then they're going to take 20 damage, but the main reason we're putting the Spiky Energy on Maractus is because we want them to... we want to discard this energy. So Maractus takes 2 to retreat, so we can put 2 Spiky Energies on here, get the utility, retreat them off, power up Lycanroc. We can use the Spiky Energy to use corner, and then we can, once they knock it out, accelerate the energy with Lycanroc. There's a lot of like good reasons that you want to be throwing your Spiky Energy on this Maractus here. And now we're gonna goof and gaff a little bit. We have the Night Stretcher, which can get us this Lycanroc, but like I said, we need to get rid of these spiky energies first. So we might not be able to do anything just yet. Here comes a Noctowl, and the Noctowl is going to allow them to search out any 2 trainers that they so desire. And this is going to be an interesting way to see what's happening, because we don't know what we're playing against. It could be Terrorbox and it could be Raging Bolt. Those are the 2 I don't know why I'm like lecturing you. You're not in trouble. Those are the two archetypes that are on the radar right now. It's a Sada, it's a Raging Bolt, and that's fine. If they knock out this Maractus, or if they decide to go around it, that's a-okay with me. We can keep cornering stuff with this Maractus. If they decide to go for that angle, then we can bring up the other Pokemon and start cornering them, so on and so forth. Now, I did mention, I put the cape in here for giving Ursaluna some bulk. Depending on what matchups are powerful, I think a great card that you could also play in this deck is Neutralization Zone. If you're playing the Neutralization Zone, you might not need to play Ursaluna because it kind of defeats the purpose of the card. You could really just go up to a 4-4 Dudunsparce line just for max consistency, because we already play a lot of supporters to draw. We play 4 Iono, 4 Research, 2 Explorers, and then Colress is our only other supporter, which is just to get us the Spiky Energy. Here comes an Assault Landing from this Fan Rotom. They're going to take the 20 damage, and they're going to knock themselves out if they hit into this Maractus again. We get a Jet Energy, which isn't necessarily what I want, but it's not the worst thing in the world. I don't want to drop this Artazon because I do want to use it. Let's corner once again. Yeah, they have to swing unless they want to use Prime Catcher, which I doubt that that's something they want to do. Then they're gonna get cooked. Now, we couldn't attach the Jet Energy and start powering up this Rockruff because, you know, it would bring it up and then we'd have to retreat it. Doesn't really make any sense. But this is still a fine spot to be in. This deck can afford to be a little bit jank because of the power of this Maractus. It's kind of crazy to think this Maractus is just low-key carrying this entire, like, archetype. It's insane. But once they go ahead and utilize the Jewel Seeker here, they could be getting a Buddy-Buddy Poffin to get some more Hoot-Hoots down. But if they don't, this is a prime time to use Artazon, lock them from getting any more Hoot-Hoots into play. There's a Nest Ball, there's a Crispin. The Nest Ball is likely going to get another Hoot-Hoot if I were a betting man, or it could be getting another Bolt. It could go either way. The other Bolt is, yeah, it does make sense. I would be getting another Hoot-Hoot here just because I think that having that option is so strong. Because then if I were to bump the stadium, they could go ahead and just say, okay, here you go. Here is your Noctowls to the discard pile, and they stretch it back and use Hoot-Hoot. But that's not what they wanted to do. And you know what? Who am I to tell them how to play the game? You know? No, I won't. I ain't to tell them. That's my point. They powered up this Raging Bolt. They're attaching to this other Raging Bolt, and I'm thinking we're seeing an Assault Landing here. No other Hoot-Hoot is extraordinary for us. Assault Landing gets rid of our Maractus. They take a whack of damage, even though it doesn't matter, and that's okay because if they bring up, say, any Raging Bolt, they can bring up any card here. Maractus is still going to be a beneficial card for us to be playing right now. We get another Spiky Energy, which is really good. But we're going to need to use a Jet Energy to bring Maractus up. Let's bring up Dunsparce, and we will allow them into a false sense of security. Here's Raging Bolt. You've fallen right into my trap, I fear. Could go for Budew, which is a little interesting. But I think the right play is to just Artazon right here. We can get another Rockruff if we want it. Nah, because I think Maractus is just the better play here. There's a lot in the deck. Be good if we could Spiky Energy and then... Nah, we just got a Maractus. Yeah, not having this free retreat option is a bit, like, painful for us right now. Because if they knock out this Maractus, they could boss around it, which would be really good for us. But we can't get this Spiky Energy into the discard pile with our current hand. And I'm not worried. We have another turn of drawing cards. And then we'll go behind. We get Counter Catcher. We get all that great stuff. We've locked them out of a extra Hoot-Hoot, which is really good. They've powered up this Ogre Pawn quite a bit here. And yeah, this is all a-okay. The good thing here is if we draw Reversal Energy or a means to Reversal Energy, then we can just go ahead and attach the Reversal, power up our Lycanroc, and then we're good to go. But Again, ideally, we don't want to do that. Ideally, we are able to use double Spiky and then attach a Spiky from hand. That'll give us the most range and versatility here. And they're still prepping their board. They got a lot of energies in play. That's okay with me. I'm low-key hoping they boss something so I can Spiky Energy corner trap it. Now, a good thing to note here is if they don't take enough prize cards. Okay, here's the Bellwing Thunder. So they are going to take out the Maractus. I was going to say if they never get Prime Catcher or get a means to use Prime Catcher, we can just lock a Noctowl, then lock another Noctowl, then lock the Latias, because they've gone through so much of their deck already. Now, yeah, getting rid of 2 energy off the Ogerpon, getting hit with the Maractus, all is well, all is right in the world. This, again, as I was saying, this is an A-OK scenario for us to be in. We are going to get this Dunsparce here. We could Budew them one more time. We get Counter Catcher. So I'm genuinely thinking that Counter Catcher corner is the angle we got to go for. Night Stretcher. Welcome back, Maractus. I've missed you. We'll do this. We'll Counter Catcher corner the Latios because it can't swing. We could have Budewed them, but then they could just retreat it. And now let's corner. And let's wait. Again, we have so many supporters left in the deck. We've only used a research. We have 3 research, 4 Iono, 2 explorers. And all of them are good options to get. And we have the Dudunsparce, and we have, I think, all the Ultra Balls too. Our deck is full of draw. But this game is slow and steady, but you know what they say, slow and steady wins that race. So we're going to see what they do. Again, they have no means to search for the Prime Catcher, if that's what they play. They could even be playing Secret Box. They can use Sada to draw. They have Teal Dance to draw. And then again, yes, they could use... There's the Prime Catcher. That's perfect. That's 100% perfect. If that's what they're doing, they're going to target down a Rockruff. We have the other one in our hand. Bring up the Teal Mask. That's fine with me. That's fine with me because they've already damaged the Bolt. Now, they're going to 3 prizes remaining, though, which is a really, really challenging spot for us to be in. Because of 3 prizes remaining, we need to take a knockout every turn now, which means we got to take a knockout next turn, like our turn coming up, which means we have a big top deck angle. Let's see what happens. What do we get? What do we get here? Another Counter Catcher does give us hope because we can Counter Catcher that Latios and continue to pray. Now let's retreat Rockruff. Welcome back, Maractus. I've missed you. And we'll bring up this Latias and we'll corner it. I apologize, this game has been so long, but the game doesn't want to give me any of the drawing cards that we have. Now, we do need to be mindful. We've already used 2 Jet Energy. They've already gotten rid of the Prime Catcher. Theoretically, we can just lock this Latias here forever. Now is the moment of truth. This is perfect. This is the perfect situation to be in. Colress. Spiky Energy. Put it on this Lycanroc here. Now, we corner them. Any Pokemon that they hit, any of the Pokemon, they're taking damage. And that's enough for us to retaliate and knock them out immediately with the Lycanroc. Comes Noctowl. That's fine with me. I don't mind continuing to corner this over and over. They're gonna get the Grass Energy. That's a-okay. They're gonna swing with the Noctowl. That's a-okay with me once again. Because we can, we can hit it with corner. They can knock it out, but then once we hit it with corner, we'll knock them out with Lycanroc. And then at that point, there's like nothing they can do. After we hit them with that, it's over. You know what I mean? Yeah, you can swing with the Noctowl, but once this Maractus gets knocked out, like, they swing, I corner, they spin, puts them at 80, we knock it with Lycanroc, it's 2-1 prize remaining, we should just win the game from there. Right? Like, there shouldn't be any other way to do anything. Here comes the Sada. I know they have the Iono, and I'm planning, honestly, on throwing this Hero's Cape on the Maractus, so the Noctowl won't be able to knock it out in one go. Here comes a Nest Ball. The Nest Ball's going to probably grab another Hoot Hoot if they have it. Could grab a Fez if they want to do that and play this dangerous game of cornering again. But that's okay. Here's a Speed Wing. We're planning on winning the game next turn. Not next turn. I don't know why I said next turn. You know what I mean. I think we should Buddy-Buddy and put 2 Dunsparce down. Because we are corner locking them here, we can evolve these into Dudunsparce and be done with it. Let's corner this Noctowl. So yeah, they've hit us for 60, but I'm putting us in a way where we're going to be able to knock them out regardless of what they decide to do. Now, Noctowl is low-key dangerous for our Lycanrocs because it is resistant to fighting, and we're only doing 40 base damage. That just means 10, and that's really no bueno. But you know what? Again, we just need to wait and see what they do. I bet they didn't... I mean, I don't know if they expected the Hero's Cape because I would have seen it already, but we're just waiting. Here's a Speed Wing again. Okay, cool. We're putting ourselves in a position where if they knock out this Maractus, they're taking the damage, and I'm fine with that personally. We have the Ionos. We have all the resources we need here. Put these 2 little dolls down, and let's corner them again. It's going to be perfect math because then they can swing, and then we can swing, and then they can swing again, knock each other out. Then we're each at 2 prizes, and we can go from there and start KOing the Noctowl. We could also bring Maractus back from the dead one more time. We could do that too. And that would be hilarious if we did decide to do that. And I think we low-key might because I think that's really funny. However, here comes another PAL Pad. The PAL Pad is going to probably get Just Boss. Let's see what they played. It is Just Boss. Just Boss makes sense. They can try and find Boss. Try and swing into... Like, they can swing into the Dunsparce, but it's very fruitless. They can swing into the Lycanroc, then take 40 damage, but it's just going to be another Speed Wing angle. And that's fine with me. If they play Jamming Tower or something, that might be a little bit of a problem. I don't know if they play Jamming Tower, but you know what? I would like to find out. I would like to find out here. Because I think that their plan is to just knock out with the Noctowl. That seems likely to me. It is interesting. It is a very interesting dilemma. There's the boss's orders, so they are going to swing into the Dunsparce, which is fine. Which is fine. Or they just don't swing at all. That's okay with me. Because I can shuffle everything back and then use an Iono. And, you know, the Dunsparce, you never run out. You never run out of cards. And now let's just Iono them here. And we'll keep the fun rolling. Don't you love it? Don't you love it so much? We're going to go ahead and corner one more time. Again, they swing to the Maractus. They might as well lose. Now, we could have benched this to Dunsparce, and maybe we should have. Because if they KO us, our Maractus here, we may not find the energy that we need in order to flourish here. But I'm very curious to see what happens. This has been a very interesting game. This like Lycanroc deck has turned into like a control-y deck, which is something that I much enjoy. I much enjoy it. Because either way, they're getting KO'd next turn. Dude, they want to take a prize. Area 0. Okay, so they play 3 Area 0. I'm guessing that means 0 Jamming Tower, which should just be fantastic for us, no matter which way you put it. And we had 2 research in the hand, so I think 1 is prized. We had our another Iono, which means I think 1 is prized. So off these prizes here, we should be getting something decent. There's a Vessel, just ditching the Sada, which I find mildly interesting. And we are going to see the Speed Wing here. Okay, so we are going to see the Speed Wing. They are going to get Exploding Needles KO'd. And yeah, we get to take a prize, they get to take a prize. We'll see what they do, but we're leading to Dunsparce no matter what here. Explorer's Guidance was also prized. I think all these prizes are supporters, so that's good to know. Yeah, there's a Raging Bolt. We gotta find an energy to swing here. And we should be able to. I think correctly we gotta Explorers first. Yeah, don't need these two for sure. Let's get the Jet. I doubt we're ever gonna need... Well, no, Counter Catcher may be important. So we'll get the Counter Catcher. Then let's Runaway Draw. We also get the Reversal, which I don't mind. Oh, I'm kind of silly. We could literally just have gone... What's his name? Ursaluna to win. But I'll Reversal here. Again, they can knock this out. They can knock this out. I don't really mind either way. Let's just Clamping Fangs. And then again, next turn, they will just get knocked out with this Raging Bolt. They can swing with Ogerpon. They will get knocked out with the Ogerpon. They're going to retreat. Retreating is fine. Yeah, swing with the Ogerpon. That's why I kept the Counter Catcher, because you never know what will happen in that regard. Myriad Leaf Shower. I mean, we still have game, but for example, if, like, whatever reason they didn't take any damage here, we would have been fine. Lone Lycanroc against the world. But guess what? The Clamping Fangs are going to destroy. They're going to destroy this Ogerpon. It's going to get absolutely murdered. Here's an energy. 200 damage. For literally nothing. Boom. Goodbye, Ogerpon. We take our final two prizes, and we take the dub with Lycanroc. This deck wins games, I'm telling you. I'm telling you this deck wins games. It's crazy. What's that about Tails? It never fails? That's what I thought. Ever more correct. Tails never fails. We're going to choose to go second here. We want our opponent to go first. Yes, we do, game. That is absolutely, positively correct. Gotta start with Bloodmoon, which is not great, especially because we have one Jet in hand. So I don't love that. Mamoswine is the list. Okay, Mamoswine's gonna be fun. Mamoswine's gonna be a really fun matchup to play against. We're gonna have to Iono here. Again, starting Bloodmoon's like really terrible for us, but it's not the worst. You know, it really isn't. They're gonna start likely a Swinub. We get a Rockruff. Okay, so we can move this right away, which is good. I would have preferred if we got Maractus or something else, so we can go ahead and corner to begin. But Dig Up ain't so bad either if they're just going to go for a Call for Family angle. That's okay too. It's important we remove the Bloodmoon from the situation. It is. That's important. And we'll see what else we grab from our deck here. Pretty solid hand. Can Buddy-Buddy get some buddies. We could go right into Budew. I actually don't mind that. There we go. Okay, that's good. I was going to dig it up and just try and discard a Spiky Energy. But Budew angle? Why not? Double damage. While we get set up, we can start Dunsparce, or Dudunsparce spamming, I should say. Use Budew to slow down our opponent's Swinubs to a halt. They can Call for Family, which, you know, is good for them. They got Jacques, so they can start preparing, like, you know, can get the Piloswine, can get the Mamoswine, Call for Family, evolve the benched one. Like, they are able to do a lot this turn with, you know, this hand. Just having Jacques is crazy, because then Mamoswine sets up the rest of their board just kind of automatically, which is what makes this deck so scary. So, Budew spam, I don't mind it. I really do not. It just stops them from, like, rare candying. It just delays them. It doesn't stop them. It just delays them, which is fine with me. They're going to go ahead and Jacques, like I was saying, and search for 2 evolutions. I don't know why it's taken so long. But there's Mamoswine, there's Pidgeot. They must have the Piloswine in hand. They must. Because I don't know why you wouldn't get the Piloswine and Mamoswine. Because then the Mamoswine can just get your Pidgeot after, you know? So I'm not sure. I'm not sure what that reasoning is. There's Call for Family. Okay, so maybe it's just not in deck. That's possible too. And if that's the case, we might be fine. If we can just Budew them for a while. But calling for family. The family has been called. And now we'll see what they get. I'm guessing it's going to be a Torchic and maybe another Swinub. That's possible. Another Pidgey. Okay, another Pidgey's interesting. No point in going for a corner angle yet. Let's start drawing with the Dunsparce. We don't quite want to discard like this whole hand. We got a Spiky Energy, which is real solid. We can do this. We can spike the Budew. Pollen. There we go. Again, not much we need to really like stress about here. We just do our thing. We bait them into taking the first KO, and then we strike. We strike with a vengeance. There's the Piloswine. Okay, so they did have it. Don't know why they didn't evolve into it at that turn. TM Evo. Maybe that's why. But then why'd you get a Mamoswine? I don't understand. I really do not. I don't know what to tell you. I don't get it. But, hey. That's a Piloswine if I ever see one. Yep. And I'm guessing it's going to be a Combuskin and then Pidgeotto. Then they go Mamoswine. Mamoswine gets Blaziken. And they have a Pidgeot. But they don't have any energies in the discard until we KO the Swinub. So it's not the end of the world in that regard. Pollen once again. Nothing more we need to do at like this very second. You know, we haven't been able. We are gonna have one Spiny Energy in the discard pile, so it means we'll have to find a yeah, there's the Mamoswine. Mamoswine is gonna Mamo find. Oh no, wait, they don't have a Pidgeotto. What? Did they not put a Pidgeotto? Call for family. Do their thing. Team move. Oh no, they just did the Combuskin. Okay, maybe Pidgeotto's prized. Which in that case, I'm low-key fine with, you know. I'm high-key fine with that. There's Mamoswine. Mamoswine can get them with Blaziken. And yeah, at this point, we are just going to continue to be the nuisance that we are. There's Blaziken. And then it's just continuously causing problems. They can't retreat the Swinub unless they attach to it, which is fine. I'm fine if they decide to not do that. There's another Call for Family, probably getting another Swinub. I don't know why they got 2 Pidgey here. That seemed a little counterintuitive, but hey, who am I to judge? There's a Swinub. We get Artazon, and I do quite like the Artazon here. Can get us Maractus, which might be... Now, we'll let it get us a Dunsparce. Pollen will take a prize. And yeah, it's slow and steady wins the race. That is what this deck is. You know, they can't use Earthen Vessel. They can attach. They can Blaziken. They can do all that. But they're not going to be able to... Like, you still use their items. They still can't get Pidgeot. If they have Boss in hand, like, if they somehow have Energy plus Boss in hand, which is possible, then they can, like... They can knock out Bloodmoon, which would be good. Low-key for us. That would be really good. Because then we can Counter Catcher up something else and go from there. They get to use the Artazon, unfortunately. Not a huge fan of that one. Get the other Swinub down, but that's okay. Mammoth Hauler can get their other Pokemon. They're going to Iono us, which is good, because I don't want to get rid of, like, all these good cards. If we can find some Spiky Energy and then discard them, that'd be fantastic. Found the Spiky, didn't find the discard. Not too bad, because we can still Poffin. We can still Artazon from Maractus and then go into the Maractus, potentially. Like, we can Colress for the Jet plus thing. There's Mammoth Hauler. Hauler? I hardly know her. They can get a Pidgeotto if they wanted to. They can get a Piloswine. They're getting set up. Slowly but surely they are. And this Pollen is putting in the work for sure. Now, we don't want to stick all the Spiky Energy on this Mamoswine, because if we do... Then there's just potentially a world where we can't get it off the Budew if they never take a KO on it, because they can KO the rest of the board without it. But the more turns we get to Budew, the better. I'm going to Colress here, get a Spiky Energy, get Artazon just to kind of, you know, switch things up. We'll attach the Rockruff and we'll just make that Pollen super duper scratchy, you know? We'll Pollen, boom. There's 20 big ones on the Mamoswine. If they get an energy, they can attach, do their Blaziken thing, and move on from there. It does need to be 2 fighting, and they have 2 mammoths to haul. They have haulable mammoths on them, but if they're unable to find the energy, it doesn't really matter, you know? So we'll see what they do. Mammoth Hauler. They're going to Mammoth Haul once again. And there's Luxray. They're getting ready for later. That does seem correct. We can Budew them one more time and then put this Rockruff into play. And the amount of time that we've taken to set up is actually pretty solid for us, because we can, you know, if they don't knock out the Budew this turn, we hit into them again. They take 6. With 6 damage counters on them, we can knock out anything in the game. And then, yeah, with those 6 damage counters, we can then go ahead and evolve into Rockruff, as long as we can find it. That is, because we have no Pokemon in the discard pile to use Night Stretcher. We do need to find our Ultra Ball to pull that play off, or we can always just get Maractus with a corner play. And then we go from there. They are going to Turo. Interesting. Going to Pidgey. Okay. Put down Luxray. That is fascinating. That's fascinating. Attach Reversal. Okay, that's an interesting play. Can they retreat this Pidgey though? They can. All right. I don't hate that play at all. I really don't hate that. That's pretty smart from them. But now we can lock this Luxray in the active and continue to... Oh, they do damage to themselves too. That's kind of goated. They take damage from the Spiky Energy. We can Maractus lock them. And then continue the game plan from there. We'll lead Rockruff. Or if we get Rockruff, or we get Lycanroc off the top, get Iono, we could go for that. I don't mind that play. Let's get a Maractus here, just to be safe. Attach the Rockruff, and we'll go for the Iono. I'm pretty confident we'll get the Lycanroc, but again, I'm not 100% sure. Okay, we did get the Lycanroc, thankfully. So we'll Lycanroc it up. Clamping Fangs. Again, they knock this out. They'll do 60 damage to us. And we can do a nice 400. Just a nice 400 big ones to this Luxray. Now we're ahead again. We can't use Counter Catcher. That's fine. We're still in a good spot. I do know they're going to save that Ursaluna for later to be able to knock it out with the Mamoswine. So we need to be careful about that. But if they don't ever knock out this Lycanroc, we will just Clamping Fangs over and over and over and over, and we'll eventually deal enough damage to knock it out. Like, it'll take 2 hits to do so. And again, they can get Pidgeot now if they have the appropriate energy. And they can do all that stuff. And we're just going to be looking to clamp them Fangs. And I'm very looking forward to it. They got an Arven coming through. And this Arven is going to get... It can get a rare candy, because that's perfect. And then Mamoswine just gets the Pidgeot. And then Big Air Balloon to retreat is also pretty solid. Taking them some time, but they are getting there with all their stage 2s. They're going to Trolley. Trolley? What are we doing with the Trolley over here? What are we doing with the Trolley? They get the Fez. That makes sense. The Fez makes sense. Fez is also great for us. There is no... They can still Counter Catcher potentially. Like, I don't know why they didn't Mammoth Haul to get the Mamoswine, then Mammoth Haul again to get the Pidgeot. Maybe they want to get a double Pidgeot, because then that would be like all the stage 2s you could ever desire. But we'll see. They're once again hauling the Mammoth. And get another Mamoswine. That seems about correct. Mamoswine, they're taking so long for their turns. Oh, man. I don't like this. I might just be fast forwarding through this game. Because, like, we have taken 2.5 minutes. They've taken 10 minutes of turn. 10 minutes. It's Mamoswine. It is not that deep. It is Mamoswine. But here comes a Pidgeot. Yeah, you're doing enough damage, bro. There's no need to stress about that. They got a Fighting Energy in the discard. They just quick search for one. Seething Spirit for the other. There we go. You got a Mamoswine that you're able to obliterate us with. Congratulations. Quick Search, they had the fighting in hand, so the Quick Search is going to be getting a Counter Catcher, I feel. And that Counter Catcher is... I don't think it'll be on the Ursaluna. I think they're going to want to save it until later. It'll probably just be the Rockruff if I were a betting man. Oh no, they are going to take the Ursaluna. Okay. They are going to take the Ursaluna. That's interesting. Now we have 3 turns to take 2 prizes, pretty much. And I'm wondering if we're going to be able to. We might have to target down the Fez here. Let's Artazon. Get another Rockruff. And Iono might be the best play. Yeah, we might have to start hitting this Fez where it hurts. Now, how many counter catchers did we get? We used 1. We can afford to get rid of the other. Get the Dunsparce. Could Maractus. I just have a feeling they used the Turo already, though. Okay, they used the Turo, so I am fine with this. Oh, I don't want to research this hand away. Okay, we got to keep this hand. That's fine. We can then Clamping Fangs once again. And then again, if they hit into the Lycanroc, we're chilling. If they retreat, swing, that's fine. Because they take 6, and then we just Lycanroc KO the Mamoswine. They take a KO, then it puts them to 1. We then bring 1 more. We just, counter catcher 1 more time. And then from there, we do our thing. They're going to boss. What are they bossing? They're bossing Dunsparce. So they must have the energy to retreat here. Then we can counter catcher, just KO the Fez, just like absolutely destroy it. And I'm fine with that. But then this last turn is going to be very, very crucial. We do the Artazon, thankfully, to be able to get a Dunsparce back. They can only boss so many times. They boss the 1 time. Here's, Mamoswine once again. Oh, they got a chest plate. That messes up our math, doesn't it? Yeah, that definitely messes up our math. Very interesting, right? Because the chest plate reduces by 30 or 40? 30. So they take 60. Then for 60, we're doing... they take 60. They have 380 damage on them. Where'd the Mamoswine go? Wait, where did he disappear off to? Hello? Okay. Goodbye, Mamoswine. It was nice knowing you. Well, they're gonna do their 1 billion actions. In the meantime, we can utilize the let's do the math. If they have 60 on them from KOing the Lycanroc, then they're effectively, we gotta cross 370 HP. That's 310 that they'll be at. And how much damage will we be doing with 6 damage counters on them? 4-8, 160, 200, 240, 280. So we will whiff, right? Dang. Okay, he's reappeared. Nice to see you, my friend. They take 1. We take the 2. Again, we can Artazon. Get our lads prepped. The Rocky Helmet has come to answer me. It's come to save me. Let's get Dunsparce. Rocky Helmet. And we counter catcher. Boom. Clamping Fang 720. You ain't ever seen numbers like that in your life. I'm sorry, you have not. You've never seen numbers that big. Let's take 2 prizes, which is a Nest Ball and Iono. Both are somewhat decent. Here is Mamo once again. Yeah, do they have another boss? They used 1 only. They might. If they have 3, no, they only need 1 more boss, because then they can boss and then win that way. But then it might have to be a Maractus angle for us. We might have to Maractus stall for a little bit. Because, we just might have to retreat lock them. Let's see. There's Quick Search. Quick Search is likely the boss. We might have to, Cape Maractus, corner something, then go back into Lycanroc. That might be what we have to do. But I'm curious. They could just swing into this Lycanroc and give us the dub. They could. Because then they'll take 8 damage. And that's enough. Trust me, that's enough. So, we'll see. We'll see what's up. I'm very curious. Do they have that boss? If they don't have that boss and they hit the Lycanroc, we do just win. For sure. Okay, they do have the boss. So there is still more game to be played. They're likely getting the Dunsparce. That makes sense. There are 1 prize remaining. We still have a game on our hands here. We still got a game on our hands. Lads, lassies, and people of all kind. We got a game. And it's going to have to be Maractus that saves us. It's going to have to be. Okay. Artazon. Do we have the cape? We do have the cape. Jet, we have the Spiny. We have a lot here. The Iono to 1, but I don't think the Iono actually matters, oddly enough. Get this Rockruff down. We have to find the cape. The cape is what will save us here. Corner time. Should we just hit? We've got to hit Pidge. We have to hit Pidge. That's the only thing we can do. Yeah. I'll Lycanroc here anyway because we have enough Spiky Energy to deal, like to fulfill this ability cost. So I'll do that. And research. It's got to be the cape here. It's not the cape. We could just pray that they don't have another energy, but no, they can with Blaziken. No! We almost got him. We almost did get him. I'm a little upset at that one. If we got the cape... if we got the cape, we would have been good. We need to get that cape there, because then... But even if we got the cape, it would have been so difficult to go back. Like, we needed a perfect storm of, like, Spiny Energy plus cape, I think. Because with Spiny Energy, they would have taken 2. 4 with the corner. Yeah, then we still wouldn't even been able to KO with Lycanroc. But we could have with Bloodmoon. We needed the cape and corner there. And Spiny Energy. That was a tough one. That was close, but it was a tough one. Starting Bloodmoon screwed us over so bad. So what do you think of my Lycanroc Maractus Spiky Energy deck? This deck is insanely fun to play, and I think everybody should try it out. I do have a couple of adjustments I would make. I think I'd change the count of the counter catchers to maybe put in 1 or 2 boss, because I think being aggressive with this deck can really count if your opponent has a way to, like with Pekka-Runt, for example, Pekka-Runt EX, they have a way to consistently move around and stall you out. That could be a challenge. I think instead of the Hero's Cape, while late game Cape Ursaluna is really good, maybe Brilliant Blender's a little bit better just to consistently get those Spiky Energy in the discard pile. Or even Max Belt. I think Max Belt could have a great home in this deck because fighting is such a good weakness to hit. With Max Belt and with no damage on your opponent's Pokemon, you can do 180. Most of the time they are going to have like 1 or 2 damage counters on them. And then you can go from not being able to KO something to just obliterating it with a Max Belt. So Max Belt is something to be considered. But I do love this deck. I think it's really, really fun, and I think you should try it. As always, thank you all so much for watching. Like this video if you enjoyed it, and comment down below. Make sure to go buy yourself a playmat at hitmonchanting.com. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff for the channel. Check out all my sponsors, links in the description. Codes were in also the description and at the beginning of the video. Until next time, Hitmonchanting is out. just wanted to take a second to thank our channel members. As of right now, my #1 and only channel member is Jesse Parada. Thank you so much for supporting the Hitmonchanting channel. If you too would like to support the Hitmonchanting channel, you can take a look at the membership link below. Lots of different levels and exclusive perks like videos, discounts, and more.